Okay, so let me share my screen. Here we go. Right, so you can see my screen here, and this is tutorials.newzenler.com. And this is our main central hub for all your learning. So inside here, we have loads of things going on. We have the latest live events. Now, this day with Zenler is not on here because we're trialing this at the moment. We're just seeing how it goes. So yeah, just like the beta of Zenler, we're also beta testing things like these sort of all day lives. So we haven't put it on here yet, but if it becomes a regular thing, it will go on here. So you'll have a date when it's coming out. It'll be once a month. We'll probably run these day sessions. So inside here at the moment, you can see when we run our office hours. Now, office hours are great because the whole team's there. We've got all the support. We've got Kevin, we've got Rakesh, and I'm there as well. So this runs every Wednesday and alternates between 5 p.m. and 10 a.m. BST time. So we have live Q&A sessions, which are streamed into our YouTube channel on Mondays. So this Monday, there'll be a stream of this. And we have any workshops that are running on Sunday inside here. So you can register straight from here. The next one's running this Sunday for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's an open Q&A session, a bit like this one. And you can jump in there. So next we have the NZ Masterclass bundle. Now I'll get back to this in a second, because down here we have the brand new challenge from Kevin, and this is the amazing blogging challenge that he's turned into an evergreen course. So you can get in there and find out all about blogging. And Kevin should join us at some point, and Rakesh will join us for this or the next slot. So next we have the NZ Zenler feature list matrix, and you can look at compare this with other platforms, and you can also find the difference between the free, pro and premium plans. So you can look at the comparison between the two, what you get, and you can also see us against other platforms such as Teachable, Thinkific and Kajabi, and see how we stack up against them. So it's all in here. Now, getting back to the NZ Masterclass bundle, this is the bundle that you need to sign up for when you first go into there. And when you join Zenler, you get an onboarding email sequence now that actually tells you to go through those things. So if I jump into the NZ Masterclass bundle here, this is what you get when you sign up. And we make it very easy. We give you a path through what you should be doing. You should definitely be starting with the quick start guide. At the same time, you can download the basic setup checklist, which is a PDF, which you can just check off. And then if you need other subjects covered, you've got the complete guide to Zenler, which is a massive course. It's huge. It's an encyclopedia. So it allows you to search for particular subjects you're interested in, such as funnels or email broadcasts, those kind of things. You've got search in there, so you can jump across. Next, we've got secondary courses. These are all lives that go in here, live workshops we do. We've got hardware, software, so looking at this kind of stuff, how to copy a site, so like a WordPress site, across to Zenler. We've got advanced coding. So if you are not a coder, then stay away from this area. If you're not an advanced user, stay away from this area. Definitely check out the branding and design. And we have about 7 slots left for the video testimonial. With the video testimonial, you do a testimonial about Zenler. And if you do that, you'll then automatically be entered into a marketing course, a basic marketing course done by us at Zenler. And the class is 30. We've got about 8 or 7 slots left at the moment. So this is running out quick here. And you'll see reviews here by people about this particular course, this bundle that's got all this stuff in it. So people are loving this stuff. So you want to get in here, definitely start with the quick start guide. But to back things up later on, when you understand the basics, if you need any help with anything, you've got a search up here. You've also got search inside of most of the courses as well. but this is a database of all our stuff, even from our YouTube channel. So if you go here and we were to type something like funnels and then hit enter, it's powered by Searchy. So you can see all the keywords where funnels is mentioned. You can jump in there and watch those videos there. They're not in sequence though. So unlike the courses which follow on from each other, you're pulling individual ones out, but it's a really good way to search. And also inside the courses themselves, if I go into the complete guide to Zenler, for instance, and we jump into here, you're going to see you've got search in there again. And you're also going to see down here that you can actually search the curriculum. Now, as I said, this is massive, this course. So there's everything in there. So we've made it easy for you to find things by using a quick finder. So if I was to type in funnels here and hit OK, then what you'll find is if you scroll through this, then anywhere where funnels is mentioned will be highlighted in red. And then you can start that section. And of course, this is in series, so you can work your way through there. So it makes sense when you look through the modules, you'll see that funnels are part of marketing. So it's all in a marketing module. And so is live webinars, live classes, live streams is part of marketing. So we put it in there as well. So it tells you about live streams, about marketing, promotions and affiliates. We got creating blog posts on Zenler, setting up emails, email lists, embedding external apps for social media. So this one was Instagram, all integrations. So showing you basic setups for integrations. And yeah, just huge amount of information in here, all broken through. This is marketing. This one is engagement and nurturing, which we have modules on. Then we have the general lessons, which is what is a media library, setting up your customer subdomain, selling physical and digital products. So there's a bit of everything in here. So you can see it's a huge course and it's growing because we're adding more to it as we work our way through. Now, also we have our YouTube channel. So under our YouTube channel here, so you just turn this off, you're going to see lots of content in here. Like I stream into this YouTube channel every Monday. So it's streamed into YouTube every Monday. And inside here, we got new features. We got Ask Zenlers. We got Kevin's adding pro user interviews. This one by Steve Preston's really good. It's been added recently, so it's worth going in there and looking at that. Steve Preston is actually an author as well, and he actually took his two books, and he turned them into a course. So he's loving Zenler. He's tried other platforms, like a lot of you guys, tried lots of different platforms, and you found that Zenler is a good fit for you. It might be because of the ease of actually building things. It might be because you wanted a package that integrates everything in it. There's a ton of reasons why people have chosen to use Zenler over other platforms, and all valid. So these is really good because it tells you a little bit about them all. We've got Shelley Fishkill, we've got Chris Meyer, and obviously Steve Preston. All our office hours go into here. We've got Zenler FBHs, which is like Facebook post questions. It's quicker for me to do a video than to mail back and forwards all the time. So they are just short little videos in there. They're not very long, 4 minutes, 10 minutes. Some of them are longer, but hardly ever. Then we've got our live workshops that run into here, and live streams run into there as well. So that is our help. Now, you might also realize that, or you might not realize that actually on our YouTube channel, you go to youtube.com/c/Zenler, and you can actually search. You've got a little search thing here. So if you're, for instance, interested in funnels, you could type in here, funnel, hit enter, and it's going to show you all the videos we've got on our site that have the word funnel in. So it's a really good way to search through things using YouTube. So a lot of people don't realize that once you're in the channel, you can search the channel. So it can be a really quick way to find things. If I put a call to action or CTA, anything that's got CTA into it will fly up. So this is a really cool way of searching the channel. So we've tried to make things really easy for you by, again, like in the complete guide, we've put that quick finder highlighter. At the top of each of the courses, we've got search the complete video databases. And of course, in our YouTube channel, you can use the default search functionality in our channel to find information really quickly. So I think we've probably got about 90% of questions asked in the group. And we have noticed a trend of the more obvious questions not being put into the group now. So you're asking more technical questions that we're trying to cover. So hopefully we'll bridge that gap, and we'll never bridge it completely, because a lot of you ask questions like new features coming out. Can you change this? Can you do that? Which is good, because we can feed all that back. Now, something to bear in mind, that if you do have a technical question, something's going wrong with your site, you need to send the mail to support@zenler.com. Okay. If you've got something wrong or not working as you would expect it to, you need to send it to them. As it's a technical issue, it's not an educational support issue. Okay, so bear that in mind. Also, with this live that we're running today, make sure that you are not asking for new releases, things like that, because I can't talk about that, and I'm not in charge of that anyway. So only questions on the platform itself. Okay, as we move forwards. So I can see Tracy's in. Oh, hi Tracy. So it's 2:25 p.m. Friday Arvo here. So that'd be nice. It's really early now. It's 6 o'clock here. So yeah, we just started. So what we're going to do, we had, I don't know, Tracy, do you realize we had a lot of technical issues this morning? So it went a little bit mad, but we're running this now. I'm just running this live. Hopefully it hasn't confused. I had people in earlier and I don't know if they're confused by what's going on. So hopefully this afternoon it'll be better, and I just better run it straight away. So Tracy, if you've got any questions, make sure you put them up there. And then I can answer them. So what's going to happen today is I'm going to wait for some questions to come in. I'm also going to be doing some tips and tricks along the way, but I'm going to be taking lots of breaks. I'm going to be on here all day, so I've got to watch my voice. So sort of every maybe 40-50 minutes I might take a break for 10-12 minutes and then come back. Okay, so I am on for 8 hours, so I've got to take it slow. Okay, so it's leisurely, it's very casual today, to see how it runs. So any questions, put them in the chat. Then if I'm off when I come back, then I can actually answer them when I come back. All right, so any questions in the chat. So yeah, I'll be doing, if I haven't got any questions, I'll be doing some little tips and tricks and things. And I definitely want to show you a little thing that I found out the other day. What I love about Zenler is that you can really kind of push things. You know, if you know the basic principles of how things work, like one, how to tag people, how forms are working in the system, then you can really explore different things that you could do that are not obvious straight away. To give you an example, I had an instructor asking how to split a funnel. So he basically wanted to create one funnel. Now, when I know we can do it with two, but this is the challenge, one funnel. And that instructor wanted to send people on a route. So that he wanted like pro people to go that way, and he wanted sort of non-pro people to go the other way. And the end result was to pick up a different PDF. So I was like, well, we can do that. So what I did is I created what's called a branching funnel. So this is a funnel with two forms in there that give it different tags, and then basically filter as they're going through. So I'm going to be walking you through that. And in fact, there's a video that we've done on it on our YouTube channel. So you can watch it in detail, how it was all built. And I think this is a sort of testimony to how Zenler is so flexible. You know, you don't have to, like, even I couldn't do enough tutorials. You know, I can be doing tutorials every single day for years and years, and I still wouldn't cover all of the flexibility and the options that is available to you. And it amazes me, because every time I go into the system, I'm kind of like, well, I wonder if I can do this with it, and I wonder if I can do that with it. And you can. So what I'm saying to you is that if you know the basics things, and I know Tracy, you've been in for quite quite a while, so you know all the basics and stuff, so you can really start pushing things and working outside the box, which is exactly what I did with the funnels video. So I'm going to show you where that is on here. We've got here 2 funnels, so it's this video here, and I'll put it in the chat for you. Let me just copy that link, drop it into the chat. Definitely check this out, because this is a classic example of taking the system with what it's already got and pushing it, you know. With this particular method, I show 2 branches, but you could do 2 branches, then 2 more branches. You know, you could adapt it for questions. You know, think about if you've got a question on there, do you take that route? Do you take this route? You can send people on bike. It can get really, really complex. Don't get me wrong, because even with 2, you've got to think what you're doing, but you can use advanced filtering to filter and send emails based on tags. And that's how this works. So I'll be walking you through this, but this video is a really good one for you to see how the system is so flexible and can be pushed outside. So I've got Sandeep here. Hi, Sandeep. So it's 11 p.m. here. I guess I'll watch the recording later. Yeah. Well, it's 6 a.m. here. So there we go. Good. All right. So I've got no questions in at the moment. So I have had quite a few technical issues at the beginning. So I've been running for about half an hour. But what I intend to do is take a break every hour. So I'm going to run now. I'm going to have a break and I'm going to be back very soon. So, and then I'll take you through the funnel and hopefully there'll be some questions as well. So I'm going to take a break now and I will be back soon. So let me just set this. Okay, so guys, I'm going to be back soon. In the meantime, get your questions down. You know, you must have some questions on the platform. So just make sure that you write those questions down. I'll be back. I'll be back very, very soon. All right. I normally about maybe 10, 15 minutes. So I'll see you soon. Hi guys, I am back. So let's carry on where I picked up from. Let me go into here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this kind of funnel is all put together. So just before I do that, let me just take that off. Okay, so no questions come in yet. So that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to just stop share so I can actually flick up my site. Okay. So this branching funnels, let's have a look how it's constructed. Now you can see that I sent you that video, so you know that video is in there for you to look at. But I want to show you actually how it's kind of put together and talk about some options going forwards. So I know funnels is a really big thing for you guys. So it's good that we cover it here. So let me share my screen. All right. Okay. So what we got here is I've basically looked at, I've used a jewelry design course as a kind of way of filtering pro jewelers, professional jewelers, got their own businesses, and then I've got hobbyist or non-pro users. What I want to do is I want to send them into a funnel and I want to separate the two out. And it's as simple as doing this. So I'm going to jump into the funnel now. I'm going to look at the funnel steps. Then we're going to look at the automation that goes on between it. Now I want to talk about this funnel first of all. So the first funnel that we've got here, first funnel step, is a choice. So I've named it choice here. So inside that choice, let's have a look at this. You're going to see that we have get your free guide. Are you a pro or a hobbyist? So what happens if they click this one here, pro user, they will go through to the next part. If they go through to this one, they'll go to another step in the funnel. So let's look at the pro user first. If you click on that one, it will take you through to the pro opt-in page. Okay, so let's have a look at the pro opt-in page. There we go. Sign up for your free gift, pro PDF. So I've got a pop-up form going on here. So there we go. That's the pop-up form for the pro user guide. Okay. So what that does is it comes into this funnel here where I've got the pop-up going on. And inside there, let's go and have a look at it. And the same principle will work for the non-pro as well. So let's have a look at this step for that button. So I'm basically just taking that button, sending them to that step URL. And remember guys, you can get the URL by clicking here, copy URL, you can paste it into that button. So let's go to our editor. And here we go, because I need to show you the form, how it's set up. So basically what this button does is it will activate the pop-up. You can see over here that it's just opening a pop-up. So it's this pop-up here. So if I click this pop-up, this is the pro user guide that you saw. Just got the name and the email. Of course, you can add additional fields if you wanted to. And where we've got this, and this is the important one, what's going to happen with this is it's going to send them to the next step after they filled this out. So let's go to click the options for this, and then it will become clear. So we've got the text in there, we've got action, submit a form, but look down here. I've added a tag. So to add a tag, guys, you can just put in whatever, okay, and then you hit enter. It will set a tag up. To delete a tag, you can just click there. Okay, so that will tag them. So when they fill this form out, they will be tagged with pro. All right, this is really important. The post submit link will take them to the next page. The next page being the pro thank you. Let's have a look at that page. There we go. So what this is saying now, thank you, download the guide. It will be emailed to you. Okay, so it's emailed to you and they can pick it up. And in fact, in the email contains a link to the actual step, which is the pro download. Okay, so in the email, it flies out, it gives them a link to this pro download. So let's have a look at that page. And there we go. And this links to a zip file with the PDF in. So once they click that, they can download it. So it's separated out. So the way the Pro works is exactly the way Pro's working works exactly the same way for the non-Pro. So in the non-Pro, let me close a few of these windows down. So for the non-Pro, right? So non-Pro, let's go back to the original page. So for non-Pro, you're going to go through to sign up for your free gift for non-Pro users. So it's taking you on a different path. So you've opted in, it's a non-Pro page, and you're going to get this sign up for your free. So I'm going to edit this. Let's have a look at this page. There it is there. So you click it and you get this pop-up. It says non-Pro user. So what happens in this page, let's go in there and edit this. You're going to see that I've done exactly the same as the Pro, except the tag says non-Pro. Okay. Now remember, when someone fills a form out, the tagging will happen instantaneously as soon as they submit the form. Okay. So that's already tagged the user. So if you set automations to go out straight away, you can filter it based on a tag because it's already there for the user. So this is the form. So if I just show you quickly now, the pop-up, you know, this activates the pop-up at the same as the Pro. So inside here, what I have under the settings is non-Pro. And then the post submit link goes to, yeah, you guessed it, it goes to the thank you page. I should have named that thank you. There we go. So that's thank you for the non-Pro. So as soon as they submit their name, email, and hit this, it will tag them with non-Pro, and then it will send them to this link. So I copied this link here and I put that into the post action, which is here. Okay. And that opens up this page here. Non-Pro, thank you, download will be emailed to you. Again, that will then send an email out to them and it will give them this page, which is the non-Pro thank you download for non-Pro users, where they can then download. So that is the system set up. So if you think about it, we've got the pages that go through. We've got the start of the page, which is a choice, and this choice sends them on a step. So if they choose Pro, they'll go to the Pro opt-in page where it's tagged as Pro. As soon as they fill their details out, they'll be redirected to the Pro thank you page. Okay. And if they choose non-Pro in here, they'll go straight down to the non-Pro opt-in page. And then when they click this, they'll then go through, they'll fill their details out, they'll be tagged with non-Pro, and it will take them to the thank you page for non-Pro. So the pages, the download pages, are not linked to this funnel at all. The only way they can get those downloads is by an email. Now you could redirect them to the download straight away. They could say, thank you, download your PDF here. The reason that I don't do this is because otherwise you could be opening yourself up to fake emails. So if the only way they can get to that download is through an email, if they put a fake email in, they will never receive the download, okay? Because it will be emailed out to them. So this is what I do to protect myself against people just going on there, putting random email addresses in to get a download. And you find this all the time. You'll probably find this on, I've done it myself, where I've wanted a free cheat sheet and I've gone on there and I've just put a fake email address in. The next page, I can just download it. Fake email. I'm not going to be spammed by people. So this is a way to safeguard yourself, get valid email addresses. You know, you want valid email addresses. Someone puts someone else's email address in there and then you send an email to them saying, you know, join my course, blah, blah, blah. Then they'll probably unsubscribe or they'll, you know, or eventually you could get blacklisted if there was enough of those emails coming in that you were basically spamming to people. You think that they've actually registered up and they're interested, but they're not. They've just, someone else has just randomly put an email in there. So how does the automations work? Based on our tags that we've set up on the opt-in forms. So let's go into automations, and this is where it gets good, because I've got one email going out, download for pro and download for non-pro. So William likes this. That's good. Yeah, it's a nice one, isn't it, William? It's yeah, it gets you thinking. So let's have a look at the download for pro. So I'm going to go into edit this, and this is where it gets really interesting. Remember, this download for pro, we're targeting the pro tag. All right. So we can have our email, you know, probably put in, don't do it this, I'll do it my surf dudes. Okay. For this, you're going to say that delay 0, so it's going to go out straight away. I've labeled it download for pro, so it's really easy for me to see what's going on in automations. Always label your action name. It makes life so much easier. A lot of people leave it with a default, and it really makes no sense. So you don't know what's going on. So try to download your action name for sure. And you're seeing here mail content, very simple. This, you know, you could make this mail a lot longer if you wanted to. You could follow up with different emails based on the tag. So inside here is basically a link going straight to the download page for the pro user. That's where it's taking them. Bang, they're in there. So you've guaranteed that it's a valid email address. They've clicked it, they've picked it up, they're interested, and they are a fully fledged lead and not a fake lead. So how do we target just the people that are on pro or have been tagged pro? Really easy, guys. Filtering, advanced filtering down here. So you can see user tag contains pro. So what this means is this email will only go out if the tag of that user is tagged with pro. Okay. So let me delete this out and I can just show you. So let's just do that. So let's set this up. So I want to set this up for the pro tag. Remember, we put that in the form, make sure it's the same. So we go add filter group, come into here, add a filter, and we go tag contains, and then a list of your tags will come up, and you're going to click pro. Then you're going to save the changes. Now this will only go out to users that are tagged with pro, right? This is really important. And if we look at the next one, which is download for non-pros here, you're going to see exactly the same, non-pro. So this is a link to the non-pro download page, which is this step down here. There. Okay, so I just grab that link, paste it in on that automation step, and then you're done. So what you've created here is one funnel, and then you've branched it off into 2. So imagine you could then take people off on another route, and you could tag them in. Remember, they're in there. They've logged in, so you can keep tagging them. You can add tags when they go through. You could add more automations in here. So you could do follow-up emails and filter out by tag. If you wanted to send a general one to both tags, then leave that filter off. So you could send an email, a generic email out to both of them saying, thank you for showing an interest in my jewelry design course. For pro and non-pro users, get a discount on my course, and that could fire off to both of them because you've put no filter in there. Okay, but if you want to filter it, you can filter them by the tag. So tag contains. You can also filter them the reverse way, so tag does not contain. So you've got that option in there under these advanced filters. This is something that a lot of people don't actually use down here, but it's very powerful. So you can actually go and add more filters in here if I wanted to. I could add another filter. So I could say user also contains, or does not contain, and then I could select pro. So this is basically sending out just to pro and not to pro. So user tag does not contain non-pro, then it won't send out. And you can get rid of those filters by clicking in here. Okay, you can also name this filter group if you wanted to. So that is how we can do this using funnels. So funnels really, really powerful. The more you look at them, and these filter rules that I'm telling you about down here, they're not just in funnels. You know, there's lots you can, whenever you see these advanced filter forms, like even on lives, automations that you're sending out on lives, you've also got those funnel options. You've also got advanced filtering. So if you're bringing someone in, you can tag them, you could then filter the group out. So there's loads of ways that you can do it. Now, also do remember that although we've tagged them in here by just using a tag, we could also go ahead in the funnel steps. And if we've got an email list set up, so I'm going to go to this opt-in page here. If we have an email list set up, we could add them to a list. So let me just close this off. And with forms, this is a generic thing with all forms. So what we're seeing here with tagging, redirecting to a thank you page or to another page, adding them to a list, all these things are generic on the submit button of any form that you create in the Zenler system. So if I go to the pop-up now and we go down to here, just have a look at some of the other options that we have under the settings. Again, we've added a tag. We could also add them to another funnel. So if you've got another funnel in there, you might want to, when they sign up, you might want to send them to another funnel as well, and then automate that. So you can send them to multiple funnels. You can also add them to any email lists that you've got set up. So you can split them straight away that way. And then you might not want to use the tag. So it's really up to you. It's the flexibility of it is endless, really. Going through here, but these are the settings. Now remember that in actions, if you're submitting any form or you want to capture data, you need to make sure your action is submit form. If you were to choose go to link, you would not capture any details. This is something that people do make a mistake with. They choose go to link, they put the link in there and then they wonder why they haven't captured the details. It's basically because a submit form is the only one that will actually capture the detail in there. So if you need to redirect them afterwards, then use the post submit link to send them to another page. And you can do that. You can click go to next step, so it automatically goes, or you can go to link. Okay, so when it says go to next step, that's the next step in the funnel. So if you've got them straight under, you could send them to next step. Okay, I always use link because I like to, I'm a bit of a control freak, so I like to put the URL exactly where they're going to. With all these things, you need to test them. You know, you need to test that it's capturing the tags, that you're getting the right emails. You need to test it not just on one, you need to test it on both of them. Mistakes happen, they happen all the time. So you need to be testing this stuff. It's our mantra. You should definitely test all of your forms, funnels before you go ahead. Right, so I'm going to quickly jump onto the Facebook group because Williams, he's asking a question. So William, yeah, so you were asking like what was the problem that I had before? Yeah, really strange one. So there's a few less people. I had a few people before in the group and on the chat, and they've dropped out. I'm not sure because they're probably fed up because I was popping up about about 6 or 7 times trying to get the live to go on to Facebook, and I couldn't get it to go on. I don't know why. It was strange, but what I found is I did a little bit of Googling. Remember, Google is your friend, guys. So what it was actually in settings. When I in Google, I went down to settings, and inside here, it was basically a hardware. If I turn on hard there, you can see use hardware accelerator when available. It was on and it was causing a problem. So I turned it off here, and that then resolved the thing. Now, the YouTube videos are looking at to do this. They also said that you could actually use Edge, Microsoft Edge. You know, you could use maybe you could use Safari or something and it would work fine, but I wanted to get it to work with Google Chrome, so I just turned the accelerator off on there and then it all worked fine. So hopefully that's helped you, William. Right, so you're all good. No questions. So it's going to be really interesting today because we are on for a long time. So we're probably going to break into different time zones. You know, some people are going to be awake already. Some people might be at work now and they might get back later. So for us, it's really good to do an all-day session because we're going to see the amount of activity and what time of day we're getting lots of activity. And then we can target all of our lives that we're doing more to those time zones. That's why I was thinking about next time maybe doing a night with Zenler where I'm just on all night just to see the amount of traffic coming through. And you know, I'm doing this, we're doing this to support you guys and help you out, but it's also like for us, we're monitoring things. You know, this is something you need to do if you're running lives yourself. You know, you need to check and see what time zones are going to be good for you. Maybe even asking the group. Kevin put a post up for office hours, which time zones were good for people. So we monitor these things all the time. So, and even when we have mistakes and things like that, it's things that you're learning from. Personally, I love mistakes because mistakes actually push you on. If you're making no mistakes, you don't progress. So by doing lots of things, you're going to make mistakes. Things are going to go wrong. How do you solve it? Do you get flustered? Do you just give up? You know, it's a real good thing that these things happen in a way, because not too good on a live because I want it to work perfectly for you guys, but it does happen. So there we go. So William's all right. So that's cool. No questions in. So just so you know, it is about questions today, but obviously we're going to have people come in, drop out. So I'm going to be doing like lots of little tips and tricks and things along the way. So I want to tell you about a video that's going to be coming out after I finish this session at 9. I'm going to post the video up and we're going to talk about it in slot 2, but I'll put the link inside the chat anyway in a slot 2, which runs from 1 p.m. And it's going to be about recurring lives. Now, recurring lives, we've just bought in blocks. Let me show you. It's easier to show you. Right. So I've got a little bundle that I set up here as part of my Sunday workshops. I've been telling people how to create kind of membership sites. So you can find all those, by the way, in the NZ Masterclass bundle in live workshops. They're all in there. But we brought in the week before last dynamic webinar and dynamic live class blocks. So this is a massive step forwards, basically backed up by recurring lives that we've just brought out. And I wanted to see how it's working. So I basically did a video of leaving a block. Let me just show you. Of leaving a block on the page. Here we go. So this is a membership site. So if someone jumped in here, they'd have a membership, and this would be a weekly live class. So I was testing how setting up 30 occurrences of something and what happens on the page. So does it update on this page? Can you change the occurrences of, or can you change the replay page? Can you change the name of it? Is the date going to update? And so I did a live test of running one that was on the page and then seeing what happened when the next live kicked in. So I was using live classes, but the same principle would apply for live webinars as well. So I've done this quite long video on it, going into detail about it and seeing whether I could actually mess it up in any way. There was a few little glitchy bits that I've reported, but then there's nothing wrong with it. It's just certain things I'd like to happen automatically. So I've shown you how you can go in, you can run an event, which shows on this page, someone books their spot. Remember, this is a live class. So, and this is using the dynamic block that we've got. So let me just jump in the page to show you. So obviously, you know the difference between live classes and live webinars. Like live webinars, you would use those if you're trying to gather leads. Live classes, it would be with existing leads or prospects. So if you've got them into, even if it's a free course, you've got them in there, you use a live class, probably. Okay, so if you're actually using, you're trying to gather leads, you'll be using a webinar because it's capturing people's details. With live classes, you don't need to. Once the user is logged in, they can just book their spot and bang, it's done. They don't need to put their username or their password in. They're already in the system, so they can just straight away sign up for it. So this is the live class block. So we got them in here. So we got live classes, got 2 styles. We've got 3 columns, and we have a list view. But we also have exactly the same for webinars as well. So what this means is they're dynamic blocks, both live class blocks and the webinar blocks. And it means that if you set them up in your live, they will appear in here. Okay, it's as simple as that. So if you check out the actual lives for live classes, you're going to see in here, I've got 1 live there. And that's why it's showing on that page like that. Okay, if I put more in there, they would show on the page. However, if you have more in here and you don't want them to show on this page, you can actually mark them as secret. So you can go in here, you can edit the one you don't want to appear on that page or in that dynamic block, and you can go make live secret, and then it doesn't appear. It's exactly the same as when you make a course secret, so they can't see it. So I'm going to be putting that video out when I finish this at 9. And for slot 2, and I'll post the link, but I'll also post on the Facebook group as well, so you guys can see it. So it was quite interesting because actually running through the sequence, a lot of people, they know how the occurrences work, but they don't run through the whole sequence and see the knock-on effects. So I've done it for you, which saves you a lot of work, so you know exactly what to do. All right, so we've got this recurring lives, and you can view the occurrences there, so you can see them all and what happens with those. So I'll be posting that for you later, so that should be good. Hey, Kevin's there. Hi, Kevin. I need to send Kevin the link for this because he and Rakesh will be joining us. So I'm just going to do that now whilst I'm here. So yeah, a very relaxing day today. You know, if you've got any questions, they can be on anything. Don't think that, you know, don't be scared to do a question. If you think, oh, that's no one's going to want to have that question. You know, if you've got any concerns, even if you think they're simple and nobody's interested, honestly, every question matters to us for sure, you know. So Kevin, I've sent you the Zoom link if you want to jump in at any stage, so you've got it in there. I need to send one to Rakesh. Rakesh will be up at some stage. So yeah. Right, okay, he's good. So yeah, Wendy's here. Hi, Wendy. I think you were in earlier. Maybe you got a bit confused by all the on and off stuff going on. All right, so here we go. 6:41 and the questions start coming in. Brilliant. So Victoria has got a question here. I'm new to New Zenler and been building my course and sales page. Absolutely loving it. Also, this is super helpful. Thank you for doing this. Upgrading to Pro today. Oh, fabulous. Yeah, that's it. Upgrade to Pro. Remember, Victoria, with Pro account, you can set up 3 sites. You know, there isn't a platform out there that you can actually have multiple sites. It's a massive selling point. I think very much understated, because like if you go for the Pro, you get 3 sites. So you look at other platforms like Teachable, all of those, and they're going to charge you a fortune. You've got to pay again to have a second site. So with Zenler, by default on the Pro account, you get three independent sites. And with the premium, you get 10. So, I mean, if you're got loads and loads of courses, loads of different stuff, then the premium is brilliant because you get 10 sites for the price. You know, so it's an amazing deal. Plus, of course, Victoria, you get access to all of the live stuff that we do on there. Live classes, live webinars, live streams. You get access to assignments. You can have more funnels. You've got more emails that you can send out. Everything's open to you. So it's a really good thing once you jump in there and start using those. And of course, you know, we're bringing out new features all the time. So a lot of the people that are on the free plan won't get access to them. We've locked that out. So it's only for the paid pro and premium users that get access to these new features that are coming out. Big new features that are coming out that Rakesh has mentioned. And one that Kevin is spearheading, which is the communities, which is going to be completely revamped. So I know Phoenix also was spearheading for communities to be put out. Phoenix is one of our instructors. She pops up from time to time. I think she's going to join us this afternoon. But yeah, communities, and then we have a total revamp on surveys and quizzes. We do get those coming quite a lot on the Facebook group asking about quizzes and, you know, maybe branching a bit like we did for funnels, but branching based on answers, branching off in different ways. So all of that's going to happen. There's a ton more things going to happen as well. And sometimes we don't even know what's going on. Rakesh surprises us with new stuff that's going to be popped into the thing. So we ourselves have to train ourselves up and keep up with all these things. I try to break it. I try to break Zenler as often as possible to show any bugs. Luckily, it doesn't break very often, and sometimes there's minor things that we put right. Of course, you guys also, if you find anything wrong, you need to let us know. If you want things changed, if there's a consensus of that you want things updated or those sort of things, then we listen to you. And we pride ourselves as a platform. We pride ourselves on just looking and asking you guys what you need. We don't just go ahead with our own plans. We do occasionally, but we'll ask you. But we do try to go to whatever you're doing, you know, whatever you need to achieve. We try to get a solution in there for you, or I will try to do a workaround, or you guys yourselves are doing workarounds. You can see how flexible the system is with just that funnels thing. And I know that Tracy's on here is doing lots of amazing things as well. So that's great. So let me have a look at the questions now. So, hi David, so are you using live webinar functionalities for this live presentation? Yeah, absolutely, Chris. What I've done is I've just used the live stream inside and I've set that up and I've just connected to the live Facebook group and bang, it appears in there. I did have some problems earlier. It was nothing to do with the Zenler platform. It was to do with Google Chrome, and the hardware accelerator being disabled has sorted that problem out. So you always sometimes find things like Google Chrome or Zoom might update something, or Facebook might change something, and then something goes wrong, and then we've got to, that's why we've got such a big dev team working on anything that goes wrong and putting it right as quick as possible. But yeah, Chris, it's all on from Zenler and then streamed to the Facebook group, which I've done a video on. So if you go in the complete guide to Zenler, you'll find, if you go under streaming, you'll find that there's a video on streaming to Facebook and to YouTube. So we've got both of those. Right, Nancy's got me on mobile, but not on laptop. Yeah, Nancy, it might well be, if you try on your laptop using a different browser, it's probably going to work. I don't know if this is a new thing. I'm going to talk to the guys about it afterwards, but it looks like if you go to settings and then you turn hardware off, then it seems to sort the problem out. So I don't know if this is a new thing that's happened. Yeah, as Kevin mentioned, there's a lot of updates that go on with Chrome. So that can causes never-ending problems. Victoria, that's awesome. I love it. The community is great. Yeah, they are. They're brilliant. And it is fantastic. It makes our life so much easier by people that are working, actually doing things and helping other people to solve their problems. It all comes around. You ask a question and someone helps you back. Someone learns something new and posts it on the group, and it's it's really good. And that's how it should be. Everyone should be helping each other to move forwards. Right, I've got Wendy. Hi again. I'm Jerry Wendy assistant. Jerry Wendy's assistant. Okay. Um, we're working on a proposal and we'll be using New Zenler. Started setting it up for the training portal. Okay. Yeah. Have you got a question with that, Wendy? Or that's good. Yeah. People are using Zenler for so many different things. It's crazy. It'd be good for us to actually write down a list of all the different things that Zenler is being used for, because some of them are just mind-boggling, really crazy, in a good way, in a good way. On that note, I was talking to Kevin over the last couple of weeks, and we will have been with me and Kevin. We will have been with Zenler for 1 year in July. So we thought we'd do is we do a little live stream and just have a sort of discussion on what's gone on in the last 12 months. Now, I think a lot of you new guys to the platform will be shocked by the amount of stuff that has happened in the last 12 months. The amount of new features that have been brought into the platform is just staggering. The amount of lives and challenges like Kevin and me have run, again, has been really good. And Kevin's blog challenge was the last big one that was done. So, and all the tutorials and our YouTube site, which was, we had nobody, or I think we had one subscriber. And I think that was Zenler staff on our YouTube channel. And now we're nearly up to 2,000. So last 12 months has been crazy for us. It's been really good and going in the right way. And, we're always talking with each other how we can do things better. And I know on office hours on Monday, Kevin was talking to you guys about, what do you want? What do you want from us? What can we do to make life easier for you? We had some questions from some of the partners that were asking for more material and training on how to market the platform itself. So we're always we're looking at things, we take note of things, and we action it. We don't let it stagnate in a corner. We get onto it straight away and we go for it. That's what we do. We just go for it. And that's what we did this 8-hour session for today, because we wanted to just make sure that you understood that we're here for you. We don't just leave you. This is a platform where we want to make sure, if we could, we would handhold all of you, and take you through it. If we had enough time, that's what we would do. So we are really, really keen on our support, and we try to support you all the time. So, okay, so moving on from that, we've got William. I have downlines who are not technical savvy online. Downlines. Yeah, I want to help them promote their stuff using generic promo page, so I can actually duplicate page for their use. But as it becomes more pages for different individuals, how can I update all pages at once? Yeah, that's that's difficult, because you're talking about some sort of dynamic block that will update all of the pages. By default, you can't do that in Zenler. So I'd have to actually look at the pages, William, to actually get an understanding of what you're trying to achieve. But it would probably have to be achieved using a hookup to a database and those kind of things. So I don't know. It's a little bit tricky. You'll have to, if it's all the same generic information, maybe you can keep some of the generic information and put different headers, different blocks in for each of the users, and then delete those out and then send them the code. Maybe you could do it that way, but I'm not sure. Let me put a bit more thought into that. Nancy has got, why need a PDF roadmap for marketing strategy? Then you can direct a VA to your fabulous training. All right, Nancy. Yeah, that's a really good idea. So yeah, I think Nancy, I did a quick roadmap, didn't I, as a message to you? But yeah, I took that on board. Yeah, maybe a roadmap for marketing. It's really hard with marketing. I mean, if Kevin's comes in later, maybe I can quiz him about that. Because like from my point of view, it's always good to have different points of view for sure. But from my point of view, looking at marketing, and I've working with marketing companies for years and years, decades. So it's different strategy for different markets. You know, it's hard to, I can put a kind of generic map together, but you really need to look at where those people are, where you're going to find those people, and then that should be where you market. And you might want to do what I do, which is like a shotgun approach, which is hit like pretty much all the social media platforms and see which ones are bringing in leads, and then put your time into that, and then lay off the ones that are not working. For me personally, I'm a YouTuber, so for me YouTube videos have always been my thing. And it's really successful for what I do because I'm doing screen sharing, so it's all video. You know, I'm not going to create a book. I could. I'm not going to create a book or something because you know, it's even like doing a video now. That's why I do videos for some of the FBH, you know, the Facebook help questions, because I can cover it in 5 minutes where it would take me like 2 pages to write that information down. Some people like Kevin, they blog. Some people vlog. You know, I vlog more than blog, but knowing how to write and do blogs is, I think, essential, and I think it helps you with your videos as well, to be honest, because it really targets what you're trying to do. So marketing roadmap, yeah, maybe we can come up with something and then send your VAs into there and then send them to training. I mean, you guys probably are already sending your VAs into or they're probably on the training anyway, looking through it and understanding it. So yeah, definitely on the roadmap, Nancy, to do. So Williams, you can get them to sign up an account under your name, then get them on the tutorials. Yeah, so yeah, William said that. I think Nancy's already doing that. She's getting them on under her group and then probably sending mails out to them. Chris is cool. Thanks. I'll check out the video. Brilliant. And try to clear the cache on Chrome area. No, that yeah, I cleared the cache. Didn't work. Yeah, I had to turn that hardware off. Right. So I'm asking Rakesh for a golden logo t-shirt for us, David. Right, okay. The golden logo. That'd be nice. Yeah. Disco. All right. So Nancy's just said she wants a simple PDF. Yeah, I mean, that's how we probably would deliver it to you. I think the best thing here is if for the roadmap for VAs for marketing, I think, yeah, a PDF, but I think also a follow-up video as well, just to take them through the basics. So we'll embed that. We'll put a link into the PDF and then they can look at that. And from there, then they'll have information on our resources. So it will save you a lot of time. We can send them exactly where to go, how to search for particular things. You do find sometimes with a lot of VAs that take over, they don't really know the platform and they end up mucking some things up. We had it a little while ago with a VA that actually set up the SMTP incorrectly, and it basically stopped all automated emails going out from the system. That's why I did a video on YouTube on SMTP, which I'll show you now. And so it's like if you're setting up things like SMTP, where you're actually using your own mail server, you need to make sure that you test it. And it's essential, and VAs should be testing. You know, if they're not testing, give them a whack, because they need to test this stuff out. I'm going to jump into here and show you. Yeah, if you look down here, I've got a video on what is SMTP. This is talking about the integration side of things. So if you're bypassing Zenler Mail and you want to use your own mail system, I've done a video on it here. So if you want to know more about it, I'm not going to talk much about it here, but you can just go in there and look, and you'll find actually inside the site itself, under your integration settings here, you'll see that you have SMTP. Yeah, if you would like to use your SMTP, you can use it there. So you can set it up, but you need to test it. What happens with SMTP, if you do set it up and you haven't checked it and it doesn't work, none of your automations will go out. By default, if you turn SMTP on, you add SMTP, by default, all of your automations will try to send out through SMTP. And if it's not working, no automations will go out. So that's no automations for funnels, no automations for any of your courses you set up. So you need to check this. Yeah. You can check it by just doing a simple email broadcast, and you can actually go into here and you can pick the SMTP. So if I was creating a broadcast in here, I'll just call this test and create that. Then you can actually go in, and where you've got SMTP, instead of using Zenler Mail, you would select, there would be an SMTP, another one would be in there, and you would select that, and that would be sending out via SMTP instead of Zenler Mail. So you can check that it works in here. If it doesn't work, then deactivate the SMTP so that it doesn't send out automations. Now, also in that integration SMTP area, when you open the box up, it says, do you want to use SMTP by default? And there's a little checkbox. So if you're not sure, and you want automations to run using Zenler Mail, just uncheck that box. It's all shown in the video, but yeah, it's a good one, that. Okay. Cool. So yeah, Nancy's happy. That's good. Right. Fabulous. All right. So, okay, I'm going to stop. There's no new questions coming, but like we're here for another 2 hours, and then we've got another 4 hours this afternoon. So guys, as I said before, just put your questions into the chat. I'm going to pause this for a little bit, and I will be back very shortly. Right, so get your questions. Just have a think about questions that you need to know about. It can be anything, guys. So just get those questions over to me, and I'll see you really shortly. Hi guys, back again. Okay, Rakesh is with us. Fabulous. Right, I'm going to just send Rakesh a link to the Zoom so he can jump in if he wants to. There we go. So Rakesh has marked this as an announcement now, so it will pop up on the thing. So thanks for that, Rakesh. Okay, so what I want to look at now is, so we've got the team here. We've got Kevin, we've got Rakesh, both on there. So, you know, you want to ask your questions now. We've got all the pros on. So what I want to do now is I want to just sort of go through some issues that people have with responsiveness of their pages and potential problems that happen with responsiveness. So actually understanding how the system works is really, really important. And as we always mention time and time again, is testing is the way forwards. So you need to test your site and you need to test that your pages are all working fine when you work with stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen in a second. I'm just setting up. So I'm just going to go into a page and we're going to have a look. And then what I'm going to do is after that, I'm going to answer questions if any come in. But if they don't, I'm going to be showing you some new feature that we're going to add, which is themes and template packs. Now, this is something that we're going to add to the NZ Masterclass bundle, and it's basically a series of call to action blocks plus whole page themes that you can actually use in your site. So I'm going to be walking you through that. Now, this is probably going to be temporary because there are plans for templates and all these things to be put into the site anyway to make it even better than it already is. So that's all coming up. So these are a temporary, like, here you go, this will help you out. And I might even post some things on Facebook or I might even do a live and invite people into for them to ask, you know, to say, oh, you know, I'd like a block like this, or I've seen this block on this website. Can we do something similar in Zenler? And it's going to be a library of areas that we can build up. Of course, all of our training is completely free. You know, we're there for you. So it's all free. So you can grab it. I know there's a lot of creators out there that are selling templates and things, but we're just trying to fill that gap where you can download some templates for free. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the site and we're going to create a page and we're going to look at responsive issues with the page. And I'm going to actually cause some issues, and I'm going to cause an issue that probably 90% of people that have responsive issues they cause. So I'm basically adding a page here. So if you've never added a page before, you can add a page straight into Zenler. Let me just go back one. You can go add page here. Now remember, you can also clone pages. So cloning pages means that you can have a page that you've already set the style of, and you might just want to tweak it a little bit for a new page. So you just clone it, you just swap out the images, colors, change the text, and bang, it's done. But if you're working from scratch, then you can add a page here. You'll notice there's a few pages here that I've created for, some of them were for training. People that had problems with their responsive pages. So funny enough, Tanis had a problem with that, so I did a video for her which I posted. So how to create a new page, you just add a page here. I start with the blank page, but we do have a general template and a general to template as well, but I'm going to start with this. Now I'm not going to publish the page. You want to put a title for this, so I'm just going to call this a responsive, and you need to, I'm pretty sure I spelled that wrong, but never mind. And I'm going to put that in there for the URL, and I'm going to click add page. And what this will do, it will create a blank block, and then it will create the default dynamic header and footer from that page, from basically your styling. So you're quite welcome to remove the header and the footer for this, and this is what I tend to work with. If I'm working on a new block style, I won't do it straight into the page. One, because maybe I'll get halfway through it and then I won't have enough time. So what I'll do is I'll create a page like this. I'll create my block, I'll test it out, and when I'm happy, I'll copy the code across. And I'll show you all of that as well. So this is a basic block. It's just put a default empty block in here. I'm just going to delete it out because I want to start from scratch. So it's got my header, my footer, and I could even remove those as well if I wanted to. So let's go and grab an empty block. So I'm going to go blocks here. I'm going to go down to empty blocks. I'm going to drag this block straight in there. That creates an empty block. So you're going to notice if we mouse over this area that you've got this like gray comes up and it says 100 in there. That's basically giving you 100 pixels sort of padding inside that block. And if you click and drag, you can move that block up and down. You see? So you can just click in there and you can drag that to a different size, and it gives you the pixel size of that. Now let's go in here and just give it a colored background. So I'm just going to go in and go for this blue color. And inside the block elements, you're going to see that you have background overlay. So if I put an image in here, I could put the overlay color and give it a opacity. I could also do this full width as well. And I have the option to apply my branding to it or not by turning this on and off. Also, branding applies inside of the settings as well, editor preferences, where you can apply the branding of your site to there. Okay, I'm going to leave that off. Okay, so let's have a look what happens with inside a block. You can add a row. So the way that it works is the blue block is the main container. You normally put a row, well, you do put a row inside that block container, and then you put elements inside that. Now, something that people don't realize is you can actually create a row, and you can create a row inside a row. Okay, and there's certain reasons why you might want to do that. You might want to have two rows, and you might want to put a background image in one of the rows. Now, if you do it on one row, it's going to apply it across the whole lot. But if you put a row in a row, then you can put an image inside that row as a background image. So that's the reason that you might want to put rows inside rows. So let's go and click a standard row of 2, just for simplicity here. So now I've got that done, I can add an element. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go and put another row inside that row. So now you're going to see if I mouse over this, I've got one row, but I've also got the containing rows row there. So if I go to that row, I can click the little gear icon and I can go with this and change the background color. So I'm going to just for this change it to a red. And now inside this one, I'm going to put a heading. So by default, this page, because it's one row, 2 columns, what happens by default is as you bring the browser down, or it's in a mobile, the block will go underneath the other block. So let me just save this out and then we'll preview it. Oh, by the way, guys, always make sure you do your SEO. Yeah, when you do your pages, make sure you do your SEO. I'm canceling it, but you need to do that. So I'm going to click preview now. So I'm just going to save and preview this. And this is what we've got. So hold on. Let me just go and make this a bit bigger. Just going to put some padding in here. Okay. Okay. So this is what we've got at the moment. So watch what happens when we bring this down in size. So I'm going to click in here. And as I bring it in, you're going to see it drops underneath. So this is our default, and this is pretty common. The way it works is it will take it and it will drop that column underneath. So bear that in mind when you're working. So if you wanted that image on top, you need to make sure that it's the first row on top there. Okay. So now let's look at what happens with the next thing that we do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to this row here and I'm going to add another row and I'm going to add a singular row. And inside here, I'm going to drop a heading and then we are going to do some crazy things. Okay. So by default, we'll look at this and it's fine. Bring it down. Yeah, it's good. Look, it's wrapping nicely as you would expect it to work responsively. Okay. But this is the big but. If we go into this element and we go mad, we decide, we want this to have padding 100% this way, and then I want to put 100% padding in that way, and then I decide to take this spacing in this way and the spacing in that way. All looks good, you know, and people, this is what people do a lot. They put spacing in, padding in, and they push everything in and in and in, and it looks great. You're looking at it on screen, you go, yeah, that's centered, that looks good. But, and this is the big one, because you've whacked it in so much with padding and spacing, you're not really seeing an accurate view of what's happening when you reduce it down. So what tends to happen if I refresh this screen now, looks good, but when I start to bring this in, you start to get really weird things happening like this. And this is, I would say, 90% of problems that people have with responsive issues, because they're actually pushing stuff in too much on the side. What you need to be doing if you want, instead of using padding, padding's good, but you just don't, it's basically, padding is just to create a little bit of air, a little bit of space. It's not to use it as a positional guide to push stuff in, and spacing as well. It's to move things to get them perfectly situated inside, such as if I was putting text in there, it's too close to the left or right, I'd use a little bit of padding just to get a little bit of air around, but I wouldn't use it to pull it right in and you know, crank it up like that. It just doesn't work. So what you can do instead, so this is where you need to think kind of like how the system's working, and this is the key here, is I'm resetting all these back. And if I do want a bit of space in here, left and right, or left or right, it's up to you. What you can do instead is you can create a new row. So I can go in and choose a 33 by 33. So, and you can basically go over these little tabs, you can move them like this. Yeah. So I've got it exactly how I want it. Now I can take this one and I can drag it into here. And there we go. And I can save it. And now responsively, remember that those blank rows those columns, those blank columns at the side. Remember what happened when we took the red block and the text block and we produced them down, they went under each other. But that's what's going to happen with this. But because this has got no content in it, it becomes a placement guide. So when it drops in, those two will jump below. So this one will jump at the top, this one will jump below. Because there's no content in it, there'll be no space. So it will just be a clean movement. So it's easier for me to show you. If I just click here and do this and bring this in, now look what's happening. It's coming in and it's perfect. Because the blocks behind the scenes, the column here and here, when you reduce it in, that column is moving down to there, and that column, or this column here, is moving down underneath it. So it's actually placing it. So you're not getting that knocking effect, because remember that if you put it to 100 padding and spacing, what it's doing is it's trying to keep that space. It's trying to keep that number that you've put in there. So what happens consequently, because of the middle text and because it wraps, is it will wrap, and it will just give one line of text. This is quite a big thing. So if you understand how the rows work and that you shouldn't push things too far, then you can get exact placements and stuff. So like for this, for instance, I could come in here. If it was a little bit close when I wrap it down, I could just put in a little bit of spacing there, you know, a little bit, but not too much. So I've now got it a little bit knocked in. Click save. And now if I refresh this, it will come in slightly. And as I bring it down, it's not going to affect it responsively. Now I'm checking this on preview, but remember guys, you've always got this option, if you click any of here, to view this stuff on mobile, like this, on tablet, and on desktop. And you can make tweaks in here. Now I've done a video, make sure you check out the Complete Guide to Zenler and just Google responsive. And I go into a lot more detail. But what I've shown you now is the basics of how it works. And if you can get this in your head, then it makes it really easy to avoid these big issues that people have had with responsive issues with the site. Right, so I'm going to have a look at the questions because there's a few things going on. Williams put awesome. Oh, I see, because my head was covering some of the things at the top. Right. It was basically the settings. So whenever I go into settings, you get style settings come up here and then you go down. But hopefully that wouldn't have affected the spacing or the padding for that demo. So William's asking, it would be great if you can shift the headshot to lower screen. I don't think I can. Might have to play around with that. If any of you guys know how to do it, let me know. Precisely what most people have when they tweak is to fit their mobile. Yeah, exactly. So if, you know, it's a massive mobile market these days, so you need to be checking this stuff. I know so many people, even some professional website designers, who don't look at it on mobiles, which is sacrilege. You know, you need to be looking on cross browsers. You need to be looking at mobile devices. It's massive now. You know, all the kids are using mobiles, aren't they? They haven't even got laptops. They've just got smartphones that, funny enough, are getting bigger and bigger and turning into the size of a small laptop. So go figure that. So yeah, that's it's the way. So not sure it's easy to change thumbnails. I think so. We were talking about, let's have a bottom left corner, but zoom. Wendy, can you please show us how to resize the logo? Okay, Wendy. All right. So you can change the logo size. We don't like to talk too much about coding, CSS coding, because we do not offer support on it. But you can find that in the Complete Guide to Zenler. So Complete Guide to Zenler, sorry, not the Complete Guide to Zenler. in the Ninja Tricks. So if we go to our Ninja Trick course, that is one of the first things that I show in here. I'm pretty sure. That's it. Here we go. There you go. So you want to go into the NZ Masterclass bundle. You want to go changing the logo size and menu margins, a practical application. Right, really easy. I've even put the code in there to change that logo size. This is something that Rakesh is aware of, and hopefully we'll have the ability to resize the logo because it is a little bit small in the corner and we want to make it bigger. So by default, I think it's about 90 pixels height. But if you follow that in Ninja Tricks, it will show you how to do it. And it's basically using CSS. So you basically go and inspect part of it. I'm doing this in Google Chrome. And you can come in here and you can change the logo size, but you do get a knock-on effect, okay? This is CSS. You do get a knock-on effect that if you change the logo size, you've then got to think about your actual menu along the top, and you need to knock that down as well so it falls in a better place for it. It's easy to do with CSS, but I know it's something that Rakesh knows all about. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention to you guys, but you also, I've added into this page, select your language. So I used a Google Translate and I just put it into the script. So now if we go around here, you can actually change the live text to any of the Google. So I can put it into Czech and you'll see all the live text. Notice images with text built into them, such as this one, doesn't change. It's only live text that changes. So I've added this on all the pages of the tutorials.newzenler site. I forgot to mention that. So that's, if you guys want it in your language, you can flick it. I'm not sure how good the translation is, but it's definitely better if you don't know some words. You can just check it up against it. Okay. So Wendy, yeah, that's good. So go and check that out, because if you have any problems with it, which you won't for sure, get back to me, but I think you'll be okay. Yeah, so Rakesh has said they're working on the new page builder. So, you know, page builder 2.0, it's going to be good. I can't wait. So it's great. So fabulous. All right. So so that's you sorted out, Wendy. And that's in the advanced Ninja Tricks. Yeah, so that is responsive. That is basically how the kind of responsiveness of the site works. We do get it occasionally on the Facebook group that people have this problem, and it's usually, you usually see the images. You probably, guys, you probably already know, you see this image of all this text in a line, and it's always because of the padding and spacing. It's the first answer I give. Check your padding and spacing, set it back to 0, then just tweak it. But if you need to get that space in between, just think about using spacers. That brings me on to the kind of next thing is, like, sometimes people like nice little underlines and things. And by default, you can't really do it. Like if you go into any of the block settings, you don't get inside here, you don't get to put a border around the outside or anything with top, middle, left and right. But you can create it really easily. You can create a little border area. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and I'm going to duplicate this block out. And then I'm going to take this top block and change the color. And then I'm going to put a little divider. And this is exactly how I've done it for this in here. You'll notice lines. And it's really easy to do. So I might as well show you. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to change this to another color. Let's change it to something like that. To create that little line between each of your call to action type things or content, you can just add a new block. We're going to add an empty block, and then there's nothing in this empty block at the moment. So I'm going to click in here. Oh, I've slowed down a bit. What's going on? Okay. And let's go and choose a divider color. So for this dividing color, I'm going to choose a red in here, and I'm just going to click save. So this is just a default block. And let's go and refresh this page. And there we go. Now it's massive. And it's massive because it's got 100 pixels padding and 100 pixels padding. So it's basically 200. So if I take this one and I drag it up, so it disappears, and then I take this one and I move it to, say, I don't know, 14. It'll only take, because there's no content in here, it'll only take this value of 14 pixels. So if I now save it and I jump back and I refresh, bang, there you go, 14 pixels. Now you might want it even smaller than that. So you can come in here and just go, oh, let's get rid of it completely. So I've got nothing at all. Okay, let's click save. We're going to have a really thin line. There you go, really thin line. So that's how you can do it. Now, if you want control of this, because when you get rid of these, you can pull them back out again like that. I go into the settings for this, which is that little gear icon, and you can see I can set my background color. Everything's good there. Let's go and add a row. And this is just to get a little bit more control. So I insert a row in here and let's check it. So I've done no changes. I'm going to check it. So I've inserted basically one row with no content in it inside the block. So we're going to jump to this and I'm going to refresh. You're going to see it's going to go bigger. And you can come into this, click the gear icon, and you can now control it with this. So if I put 5 in here, I'm just going to check there's no padding in here, which there's not. I click save. I've now got a row inside that container that will control the height of that. So if I come back to that now and then just go to that row, it just gives you a little bit more control in here. Oops. Hold on, what's going on? There we go. So let's go and take this and make it a little bit bigger. So let's just say I wanted it 50 pixels. I could do that. Click save. Refresh. And there we go. And guys, I've been refreshing this page I hold the control key and I hit the little refresh button here and it will clear it. Sometimes it doesn't clear the cache. If it doesn't clear, you need to just select the URL and not this /preview on, okay? And then you need to go into incognito and view it. Now this is not going to show because remember, I haven't published the page. So I need to make sure that the page is published. So if I go into that and I publish the page, then I can update it. And then when I jump back into incognito again and I refresh this page, it will then show. There we go. So if you don't get things appearing when you do the preview, it's basically because it's got a copy of the cache. So the best option is to go into incognito and view it in there. It's just something that we recommend each time that you do stuff. Yeah, so Sophie's saying, is there a block called divider? There is. I think there is a block called divider. I tend to just use this method. There's loads of blocks. It's hard to keep up with the amount of blocks there are in here. Yeah, you've got dividers. So in there, so you can put that divider, which is basically what I've just done, but you could shove a divider in there if you wanted to. But I'm just showing you the manual way of doing it as well, because one, I'd forgotten that there was dividers in there. Let's have a look at this divider. So yeah, it puts a little image in there though, you know. I think all of them do. I mean, you could delete that image out, I guess, and play with it. It's basically they've put this little image in there, so you do get this kind of block divider. But if you want a solid line, then that's how you can do it. And that's one as well. That's a line. That's a divider with text between, divider with text between, divider with solid line and text. Yeah, so there isn't one which is blank divider like this. So I'm guessing you could go into here and you could just delete that out and then use, and then it would basically be what I've done down there. So Wendy, was that Wendy? Sophie, yeah, so I've just given you different options there to play with. So there you go. I've basically done the same as what I've done with that. So then I would go and push that up, and then I've just got a row in there. So that is all about responsive kind of issues. We plan to add dividers as elements too. So Rakesh there, so it's brilliant because Rakesh is giving us full updates on things that I'm showing as well. So there's lots of stuff going on. Yes, there's blocks you can add a selected divider style. Right, okay. That is responsive issues. So no questions have come in. So I guess you're all happy with that. So I'm going to move on now, and I'm going to show you the new templates that we're going to look at. So I'm just going to stop my screen share so I can flip the page up. Jump over to our tutorials site. I have to do this without screen sharing because obviously we get people's emails and things come up. So I can't be sharing that information. So I'm going to go in courses and we can have a look at what I'm going to put into the NZ Masterclass bundle. All right. All right, so here we go. So this is what we have put together, and we're adding to it. There's final checks to be done. I need to make sure, because it's from us, Zenler Official, we need to make sure everything's working perfectly for you. So we have these Zenler Official theme and block plugins. So what we got here is I give you some installation videos for setting this all up. It's really easy to work with. Step one is, what are these for? Okay, so what they're for is they're complete page templates, all right, in this pack here, theme packs. Then we have what's called block templates. So these are things like CTAs. We're also going to be doing different form types, and you can basically grab any of these you like and put them into your site, use them as a base to work from. And that's how they work. So step two is how to download the packs. It's really simple. You just hit the download button here, and that will download a zip file, and it will contain the code and images of the blocks. So inside of that code, it says block 1, and you'll see in the folder that there's a label for the block called an image called block 1. So you can see exactly what it looks like. You can copy that code snippet, put it into your site, bang, it works. All right. So we're going to be supplying these. I've also shown an installation. So when I'm showing the installation of packs or blocks, it basically applies to all of them. They're all going to be in exactly the same way that they're delivered and the same structure. So once you understand how to put a block in there, it's pretty easy to work with. I actually had a non-techie, Marina, who actually, I let her into it to see, because she wasn't very good with these coding things. So she was a perfect example, and she installed it fine, no problems at all. So I feel safe that you guys are going to get this. And then I also, in step 4, I show you how to customize these blocks. So if we look, for instance, there's this one here, which is called Squares, Vibrant Fun. You can see a little snippet of what you get. And we have 2 buttons. So we have a preview button, which will throw this site up, and you can use these blocks. So in this particular case, we've got 1 block here. We've got 2 blocks here. Okay. block number 2, we've got block number 3, block number 4. Okay, so you can choose which blocks you want. And as you'll see, they are all, I'm still working on this, but they are all responsive inside here. So I'm just checking it out. There's a few little issues with this, but I'm going to sort that out. So this is what's going to happen. You can actually preview the block. And then if you're happy with it, you can download the pack. So when you download the pack, it's a zip file, you open it up. And as I said before, it's got images of the different blocks, an image of the complete template, and the code, which is the most important part. And obviously I show how to install that in the installation packs there. So we've got a few at the moment. We've got 4 in here of complete themes, and we've got a call to action block. I want to put a couple more in. So we've got this one here. This is the Netflix style site. So there's quite a few blocks in here. You can see there's even a video library in there showing you. So these are just placeholder videos. You can swap these out for your own. And of course you can duplicate the block. And you can see I've got dividers in here. And if you look at the Netflix site, it's exactly the same as this, well, within reason. You'll also see that you've got some FAQ blocks in there built into the Netflix style. So of course, you know, it is the Netflix style, but you can change colors, you know, make it your own. You can quickly do that in Zenler, no problem. So that is the Netflix style. Next, we've got fitness and well-being. So we did a series of these as well in here. So these are like blocks really. You notice it's got no header on this one. And I've got a business one that I'm still kind of working on, but this is kind of a business type template. So you've got this, you know, your social, so you can pick and choose. But this template, by the way, has the art files for the social media. So you can take them out, you can change the color of them and upload them in there. So there are some additional assets in some of these things as well. This template is not completely finished. I envisage this as being jump menus. So you click courses and it will jump down to there, click support and you go down to there. So I'm going to put some additional information in this particular template. And then lastly, it's going to bring us on to the call to action pack. So this is pack 1. There's going to be several packs. They're animated as well, some of them. So as you go onto them, they animate around. And these are just general standard packs that all work nicely in responsive mode. And of course, you know, you can change these images to make them work for you. There's a doggy one because I like dogs. It's a bit like Rakesh's dog. So yeah, there we go. So that is your packs there. So this is going to be, I'm hoping to release this next week, probably after office hours. I'll probably release it out for you guys to pick these up. I want to add a few more. I'm going to do some inline forms. I might do a screen grab of this, post it on the Facebook group, maybe over the weekend. And if you guys want anything else added to it, then let me know and I'll try and get those in before it launches on Wednesday afternoon. So that is template packs for you. And have we got any questions? Is there a way to create a funnel that can automatically enroll someone in a course when they are tagged? Okay. Automatically. So well, you can, I'm not sure actually. I mean, what I would say is you can tag them, export them out, import them in and put them straight into a course. That's how you could do it. Is it a paid course? I'm guessing it's a free course. You probably just let them, because what you want, the thing is that if they're registering inside of a funnel, okay, you need to remember that they are then going in there as leads, okay? So they're not full students. They're not full students because they've gone into the lead, they put their name and their email, and that's what you wanted to capture. So to actually get them to register, you need to get them to register into the site itself. So what I would suggest is that at the end of it, if you're putting them into a free course, send them through a funnel and then say, look, now you can join this course for free. Put a button straight to the checkout page if it's free, and then they can go straight through it. So you're just using the funnel to bring them in. So if they then sign up for the free course and use the same email, okay, and then they set their password, then they're going to change from a lead into a student, okay? So that's how you can do it. You can just send them from the funnel straight into your checkout page or onto your sales page, and you can get them to sign up that way. So that's how I do it. Or you can take them in, you can then export them out if they're tagged, bring them back in and enroll them straight into a course. But when you import them in, you'll get that selection to add them to a course, or you can even set them into a new funnel. So there's two ways of doing that depending on purpose. Remember, if you have automation set up in the course, they will fire off straight away as soon as they are enrolled in it. So bear that in mind as well. So Sophie's put, it's all about my magazine type membership. I'm trying to find the solution. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I remember Sophie was saying she was going to enroll people and have sort of back issues and things like that. It was quite complex what she was trying to do. Yeah, so Rakesh has put, or maybe use free course as the funnel instead. Yeah, absolutely. You could do that. So you could avoid the funnel altogether and just put them straight into, I mean, remember guys, you're using funnels. We've made funnels for you. So it's really easy. You can set up a series of steps and you can keep adding steps to a funnel, as many steps as you like. But do remember that you've also got unlimited pages inside Zenler. Now you saw I set a new page up there for the responsive page, but you could also set up a series of pages that lead from one to the other. So you basically be creating a page funnel. So you'd be creating a page, then click next, they go to another page, and then finally you could send them to the enroll page for setting them up if it's a free course, so they could then go into it that way. So there's a myriad of different ways of doing this. As Rakesh said there, you can use a free course instead of the funnel. So the three thing I know how to do, I do it already. So Sophie's already on that. She's just asking about the funnel. Why is it you want to specifically use a funnel? Is it to keep things nice and simple? I'm presuming it is. I mean, the great thing about funnels is it's like you can add a series of steps in there and then you're not, it's just all in one place. So if I go into funnels, let me share my screen. The good thing about funnels is that you just have them here, so they can have as many steps or pages in there as you want, and it keeps things really well organized in here. But I would definitely suggest that you just send them, just send them straight into the page, the free course page, the checkout page. But remember, the difference with a funnel is you're using funnels to collect leads, so it's not to enroll people in a course. You send them to the enroll page to do that. If you don't want them to register twice, what you can do is you can send them into a funnel with no registration. Now, William Song asked for this. So cheers, William. I don't know if he's still around. He's in Tokyo, I think. So he asked for this. And this was basically to set a funnel up without having, I'm not going to be able to find it now, without having any registration. So creating a CTA. Oh, can't find it. It's in here somewhere. Might have done it as an Ask Zenler. Okay. All right. Let me just show you instead. So I'm going to jump into my other site, just stopping the screen share so I can flip this site up and then I can show you. All right, so if I have a funnel here, I could create a new funnel. So I'm going to just create this as a lead magnet. Remember, you can do a video series funnel. You can just set it up in here. So I'm not going to set up freebies or products. So, you've got a course to launch at the end of sequence. So you could select a course in there. I'm not going to. I'm just going to do it all manually. So if you come into here, or we go on to that one, which is probably going to be better for this, I can click finish to this. Let's do it. Okay, so it's going to have my steps up, and where I've got the opt-in form, I just won't have them opt in. So I can just basically delete that step out. So at the moment, what's happening is I've just got a thank you page, but obviously I would style this page and put that, put a button in there, go to next step. And then at the end of it, I could then send them to the free course. So that way you're avoiding that double registration where they've registered for the funnel and then they've registered for the course. So if you want to do it that way, that is definitely a way to do it. So you can add a new step there. Straight in there and then send them through the sequence. So if I went and edited this page, I would put my content in there. I'd have a button saying next, and then I would link it using this URL to this page. And then of course I could create another step and I could do the same. So I could run them through a funnel at the end of it. I could say, go, take the free course now, send them straight to the checkout page, and bang, it's done. And that way you haven't captured a registration through the funnel, but you're actually using the funnel to send them to register at the end of it for a course. And you can build them up. You could set automations up with this, so it goes out once a day, sending them to the new link saying, are you ready? Tomorrow you'll get your free access to a course. So you can build, build anticipation for what you're trying to get them to enroll in, if you want to. That's what I was saying. Funnels are so flexible. You can use different forms within funnels, send them off in different directions. You could send them through a series of steps and send them to a sales page. You could even send them off site. You could even send them to your YouTube channel. It's up to you. So, or you could send them to the registration form for the live. So if you've got a live webinar you're running at the end of the week, you could send them to that to register up for the live webinar, where you'll then talk about what you're talking about. At the end of it, you'll probably try and get them to buy something or buy into something. So it's up to you. It's really flexible. You can go off in a myriad of different ways. So hopefully that's answered your question, Sophie. Right, so Sophie's put the thing I know about complicated to explain in this chat box. Right, okay. So I'm fluent in page cascades and non-marketing funnels. Yeah, okay. So I mean, really, like, funnels are just a way of taking people through things. So if you know about page design and all those things, then funnels is just good. I mean, the great thing about funnels is the fact that it can all be automated. Now, of course, you won't be able to run any automations if you haven't got an opt-in form in here, because it's got nowhere to go to. Right, so bear that in mind as well with funnels. But you can set them up in loads of ways. You can use it as a lead magnet. You can use it as a video series funnel, or you can just use a hybrid of both. I mean, nothing's stopping me from going into any of these pages using the page builder and putting whatever content I want into those pages. So I can turn this lead magnet really into a video series funnel. It's not, we've just made it that way so it's easier. So lead magnet, we give you that option of free download to put in there. With the video series, you can load up a series of videos that drop into each of the pages as they are created. Personally, how I create funnels is I delete what's already in there and I build one master template with one page. I duplicate it and then I change it and then I hook it all up. And then I go into automations and I figure out how I want those automations to run through the funnel steps. That's how I do it. But some people like to go through what's already been created for them and update them. It's really up to you. Yeah, so Sophie has asked if we can enroll and unenroll as a final step on the funnel. So I'm going to say no to that. Okay, so what I've just told you is what you can do. Okay. Right, guys, that's another hour up. So not too many questions. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to talk about next. More tips and tricks, I think. If there's no questions coming in, then so Rakesh has mentioned to Sophie that yes, you could use Zapier to do that. So on sign up, that's not something I'm going to show you today, but Sophie, I might do a little video on that. I've done a video on Zapier and connecting to a Google Sheet. So I might do one on funnels if you're interested in it. And I think a lot of people maybe will be. So I might show how to do it. It's really easy with Zapier anyway, but you can get them to enroll to the funnel and then enroll them in a course once they go through it. So that's one to definitely do and ask Zenler about. Okay, guys, so I'm going to have a quick break. Rakesh and Kevin have got links, so they can jump on. I know Rakesh is on the boards now, so if you've got any questions, you can just write them in there. I'm sure Rakesh will answer them before I get back to them. But I'm going to take a 10-minute break now, and I will be back soon for the last hour of slot 1. So it's a little bit shorter slot 1, but now we've got it all figured out. We're going to run the next one at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to have a 10-minute break, and I will see you guys very soon. All right. Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, so I'm just having a look at the Facebook group to see the chat. What's going on? So Rakesh has been busy here. So I got a question from Nancy. I have to leave, unfortunately. So she's asking, my question is, can I have two choices of products with product pricing, two buttons on the cart page? No, the problem with the cart page, or the way that it works, you could have two pricing options on the pricing when you set up your pricing, but you can't have two products on the same cart page. That's what you're asking. Now, I don't know if Rakesh knows, but whether that's going to be a feature or something adding. You can do bumps. So in that way, you could do a bump product. You could have upsells on the thank you page as well, but we can't put, I know what you're trying to do here. I mean, you could, inside your cart page, you could set up buttons to other products and have it visible inside the page. So that could work. Let me just jump into and just show you. I'm just going to go into one of my courses. I'll just share the screen in a second. So I've got a bundle here. Let me just share. So I've got a bundle here. Obviously, this is just one course. It's a bundled membership, but on the checkout page here, you do have the ability using Page Builder to single out to another course. So if I was editing this, and I'm just going to jump around a bit here. So I'm loading the editor. So I was going to send them, also wanted them to jump maybe to intermediate level in surfing. I could go to the page there and I could grab the sales page or the checkout page. You know, if I want to send them straight to the checkout page, I'll probably send them to the sales page. And then inside the editor, inside here, I could put a button to that other course in here. So where this is, this one here, I could come in here and create another block just for this. So let me just add a block in. I'll just add a button for the simplicity's sake. I'm just going to quickly do this, and I'll just insert a button. Of course, you make it look all nice and stuff, but I can put a button in there. And then, of course, inside the button, I could put the text intermediate course checkout. You know, and then I could link, I could choose an action, I'd choose a link, then I'd choose this and I'd link to that intermediate level in surfing and save that off. And that way, when they come into this membership page, they're then going to see that. So if we just preview that quickly, you've got that there. So you've got that button there to another place. You could, of course, put this down the bottom. Oh, you could, of course, in a way, if I'm putting it on the thank you page, I'm almost creating an upsell. So you could put it in this page, or you could put it into the other page. So if they click on this, they're then going to go through to the intermediate. I've set it up for sales page, and then they could buy it through there. So that's how you could do that, Nancy. But actually, to have it in there as a separate button that they can buy it in one go, I think that's what you want. I entered 3 product funnels. Click the upsell. All okay. Click the upsell. Bank blocked CC as a fraudulent multi-payment. A big problem was, I don't, so I think Rakesh might have to come back to you on that. I think he has as well with support. You can check the support. Yeah, so there's more technical issues with that, but that's how you could do something like that, just to give you flexibility to be able to send people. I mean, you'll notice in the membership site that I created here as part of our live workshops on Sunday. We created this membership site, which was to actually take 3 courses and make it look like it's one membership area. So there's actually 3 courses in here plus the bundle, because the bundle contains these. So bundle, think of bundle as a box, think of courses as items inside the box. So that's kind of how it works. And I created that. And what happens in this site is that even though there's 3 courses, you can't really tell there's 3 courses, it just looks like one. So I bought the bundle, but they have access to the intermediate area of the course, the beginner area of the course, and the advanced area of the course. And of course, they can return back to the home page, which is the actual bundle. So, and also I put a live in there as well. And they can also jump here through the CTAs as well. So this was a membership site that was set up that contains all of this stuff, just if you guys are interested. If you want to find out about this, just make sure that you go to our site, which is tutorials.newzenler, and go into the NZ Masterclass bundle and just basically go into the live workshops, and you'll see all about memberships in there. That's updated every week. I upload the video straight into there. So if you're interested in this, go and check it out. There's more going on this Sunday, by the way. We have another open Q&A. I know this is a massive open Q&A, but this is a closed shop one. So if you want to register for that, it's going on the 27th June at 4:30 BST time. So guys, have people now and again ask us, oh, what's that time in my language? So in my time zone. So, you know, it's really easy. We can't put every single different time zone in here. We work to British summertime. So if you need to look, just Google. We normally put PDT time, BST time. It's really easy. You just go onto Google and say BST to whatever time zone you're in, and it will give you a conversion. So you can find it out for yourself what the time zone is. It would be really impractical to put all of the different time zones around with all the days. We work from BST, so just use Google. Google's your friend. So make sure that you look at Google if you want to attend any of these lives. There are some people that sign up for that. We like people to attend the lives because then, you know, we actually get to meet you. You actually get to talk live, and there's good interaction. And, you know, it's really good for us to see. There's lots of regular people that are in there all the time. It's really nice to, and it also builds your confidence. Like if you're on camera and those sort of things, especially if you're uncomfortable, it's a really nice, safe place to start. You can ask any questions you like. You know, some people doubt themselves. They're asking a question, you think, oh, no one's going to want to hear that, but everybody started somewhere. So even the simplest or basic of questions is a question and needs to be answered. So don't feel that you can't ask a question because you think it's too simple. It's not. Every question is valid, and we take every question seriously. It doesn't matter how complex. I mean, there's some questions coming in about ConvertKit and using Zapier, and that can blow your mind a little bit, but really, honestly, don't worry about it. These people that are asking the question are more advanced users. They've probably used lots of other platforms and they want to integrate stuff with Zenler, but that doesn't need to apply to you. It's like Kevin, and my mantra is like, keep it really simple, you know? So keep everything simple and then build on it as your knowledge, as you gain more knowledge by attending lives or playing around with the features. You know, you saw there earlier that we did the responsive block. We added a page, we kept it unpublished, and you can basically play around and test things out without actually affecting your live site. And the same applies for the courses. If the course is not published, you know, you can preview that course and you can check it out and see how it looks. Like I've got here, this is actually published, this course, but if it wasn't, it doesn't matter, because I can go and click the preview and I can save the preview there, and I can come in and I can preview how it's looking. No one's going to get access to this course because it's unpublished. So if you've got it unpublished, you can still go in and check and see that it all looks good. Another thing to bear in mind, like we spoke about earlier, is when you do publish, you should test everything, you know, just test it. So you publish it, go and check it out as a student. Yeah. Just set up another email account and just log in as a student would see it, test it all through. If things aren't working, make sure that you unpublish it, sort those issues out, publish it again, check it, and then unpublish it. It's really easy, and just follow some of the lives that we've done as well. We've made Zenler, and a lot of people use Zenler because it's really easy to get a course and their site up. But Zenler's very, very powerful. There's lots of stuff that you can do, and most stuff you probably will not even touch, you know, like all the coding and those sort of things that you can do. Me as a developer, it's really important that I have those powerful tools in the background, but we do realize that we try and keep, that's why we don't talk about ninja tricks, CSS and coding, because we realize that it can get really overwhelming. And Kevin's a great one, a great spokesman for keeping everything simple. Just use the quick start guide and then take it from there. That's what he says. He doesn't even say about using the complete guide to Zenler. It's like, do that, get it all working. And as your knowledge builds, you can then step into some of these tutorials. We do not want it to be overwhelming for you. We need to hear from you if you are overwhelmed. We had a student saying, because we did have our courses originally just all laid out, and we had a student coming back to us saying, it's too much. You know, there's too much content, there's too much training. I don't know what to do. So because of her comment, we revamped the complete guide, the NZ Masterclass bundle, and we broke it into sections, primary courses and secondary courses, just so that we tried to make it really clear. So we gave a step through, take the quick start guide. Also based on that, we've set up a new onboarding experience. So new people that are coming into the platform will get an email to an onboarding series of steps that they can run through. So all these things, we take what you say really seriously. We know that the platform is really powerful, but we also know that it's easy to use because we've had a lot of feedback. In fact, Kevin's last pro interview that he did with Steve Preston mentions this. The reason that he actually went with Zenler was because it is very intuitive to him. And that word intuitive is what we look for. You know, we want the platform to be intuitive. We're always working to make it more intuitive and easier to use. Hence, we're bringing out the page builder, and we're going to have these templates where you can basically update a page or update all your pages in one go, those kind of things. So, you know, that's the way we're heading with this stuff. So we do have questions in on a more of a kind of technical note with putting embed code in. So I think that was a question that was asked as well. So I'm going to quickly jump into the platform again. So, and show you what we can do. So I'm going to grab, I'll be sharing my screen in a second. I'm just closing some things down so it's a bit easier to work with. Okay. Right, so the first thing I want to show you about is, and this is a question that comes up from time to time, is how do I get my video into the site? And can I also embed code? So it kind of ties up with what was asked earlier. Can I embed code or video into the site? So of course, when you're creating a course, you have those options to go into that course and add media. So I'm just going to share my screen quickly, and we're just going to dart around a little bit. So inside here, for instance, if I go advanced level and I go into curriculum, we always have this option inside here to add a new lesson, or even upload videos, bulk upload multiple videos, and they will, as they upload, they will appear in here. They will be titled with the name of the video that you're uploading. So if I do this as test video here, we have the ability to do lots of things inside of the curriculum itself. We can upload audio, PowerPoint, PDF, text, custom code, or embed code. We can upload downloads such as zip files that can contain any content. We have quizzes and surveys. Quizzes and surveys are being completely revamped, but these work now. We also have SCORM and HTML. If you don't know about SCORM HTML, just don't worry about it. It's basically packages that create more of a learning experience inside of that area. And we have assignments where people can submit assignments and stuff. So assignments is really good one of our premium features in there. So guys, if you're not on the Pro Premium, you won't have access to a few of these, but you have access to video. Up the top here, you can also assign that particular lesson as a free preview. This means that someone does not have to buy into the course. They can watch it as a free preview on your sales page. You can set it as draft so that nobody sees it. And this is quite handy if you're working on something and you don't want your students to see it yet. You just set it as draft, and then when you're finished and ready to release, you just uncheck it. You can also set it as compulsory as well. Now, there's been a lot of questions around compulsory. Compulsory, basically with videos and things, if people skip through, go to the end, then they will have watched it all, even though they might have skipped through it, and then they can go to the next lesson. But we've set it as compulsory, meaning that they should really watch it all. Also, as a note of that, inside of assignments, you can set that as a compulsory. So until you approve the assignment, they cannot carry on through the course. And this is a much more of a way of controlling students' progress through a course. I'm going to be running a basic Zenler basic marketing for anybody that has submitted a video testimonial, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And you're going to see inside that course, once it gets going, that there will be lives, there will also be videos, and in between each of the modules, I'm going to set an assignment. So I'm going to be manually approving, and that assignment is going to be compulsory. So that means that until people have done those particular things in that section, I'm not letting them go through. Okay, they're not going to be approved until they've finished that assignment for those things. So I'm going to be quite hard with it, but it's really important they follow those steps through that particular course. So that's how an assignment can work for you. So getting on to videos now. With a video, you can click in here and you can just upload a file. So you can drag a file straight to here and upload it from your computer. You can also go to the video library, and if you've already got videos on here, you can just select the video that's already uploaded to the media library. You can also use embed code. So if you've got embed code, let's go and choose some embed code let's choose this one here. So if I just jump to, let's go to this one, recurring lives as it's current. Just stop it there. So if we go to, in YouTube, we go to share, and we go to embed, then we can copy this code, copy, okay, jump back into here, and we can paste that code straight into here. We can click save, and now I've embedded it from YouTube straight into my curriculum. Now, the same thing can be done with any of the pages. So if I go into not just the course pages, but any page, right? Any page you can put video. So if I go into the site and I go to pages, we're just coming to that responsive page. Well, that's pretty horrible, but let's go into it anyway. And I'll just drop a video block in there, and you'll see in the video block we have the same options. One, we can upload a video, and we can also embed a video in there. So once that's loaded, and notice that I grabbed that embed code from YouTube. Lots of video providers such as Vimeo and stuff have make it possible for you to grab embed code. So you could use Vimeo instead of YouTube if you wanted to. So let's go in here and drop the video in. So I'll drop a video into this block here. So I add an element, and I'm going to go across to video. And you're going to notice that it gives you a selection of your library. So you can upload here, you can choose an existing video, or you can go across to embed code, paste that code into there and click add. And bang, it appears in there. So that's embed code. Now, someone was asking about actually putting iframe code or embed code into the page itself. So yes, you can do that as well. You just need to come down to add a new element, and you're going to see on over here, we've got custom HTML. So you could come down here, grab the custom HTML, which is a custom block here. Once you click that block and you hit the little gear icon, you can then go and change the content. So if you change the content, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in that same code from YouTube, and I'm going to click update. And as if by magic, it goes in there. So guys, if you're using embed code, remember that embed code is from another site. So if you're using embed code from, I think someone mentioned ConvertKit or something, you can grab their code, but we have no control over how it looks or how it performs because it's someone else's code. It's not our embed code. So if it doesn't work as expected and you've put it in the block, you can reach out to the support from the place where you got the code, or you can Google to find out if anyone else is having that same issue with embed code. I've used embed code for Calendly. It works really well. Just grab the code, dumped it in there, bang, it's done. But it is someone else's code, so you're limited on what you can do with it, because it's their code. With YouTube code, it's worth noting there are a few things that you can change. So there are modifications that you can do to the code in here before you embed it in. You wouldn't touch any of this stuff, but things like the frame width, frame height, you could change these if you wanted to. So you can modify some of the code, but you need to be very careful. And that's why we stay away from coding issues, because obviously it's not part of the platform. It's someone else's platform. So we can't really get involved in it. Otherwise, we're doing their job for them. So yeah, so I was talking about earlier about the Zenler marketing course. So if you guys are interested, you need to jump into, I think I've got 7 slots left now. And you basically, what we need is a video testimonial from you. So if you do us a video testimonial, what we're going to do is we're waiting to get 30 video testimonials. And the first 30 that we get, as soon as we get 30, I'm closing what I'm about to show you down. And those people that have sent their video testimonials are going to be entered into a free Zenler basic marketing course. Okay, this is what I was talking about with the compulsory assignments and stuff. So if you send them to us, you will get automatically added. And when I reach 30, then you guys that have sent the video testimonials, you're going to start getting some emails coming out, and I'm going to be shouting about it on the Facebook group as well. And I'm going to be taking you through, hand holding you, seeing the results that you get from what I'm teaching you. And it's going to be good on a few levels. One, it's going to allow you to be able to analyze your niche, your market better. It's going to give you actual physical results of what countries are coming to your site, what devices they're using, what time zones they're coming in at. So we can analyze data, we can find the niche market, and we can also look at how we can promote it, how you can get your site and your pages showing. And all sorts of things are going to go on in the course. And I'm going to run through it. I'm going to get some results from this from you guys. And then afterwards, we might rerun it. So we'll then ask for another lot of video testimonials. When it reaches 30, we're going to stop it again. Reason I'm stopping it at 30 is I don't want the class to be too big. I want it to be a very personal class so that I can actually, I have the time with 30 students to be able to look through and analyze what's going on. If we run over, if I have like hundreds, which I have in some of the lives on Sundays, it would be unmanageable for me to analyze everybody's work as we go through. So that's why we've done it that way. So I'll show you where it is now, and then you guys can, if you decide to. If you're already a marketing guru, then maybe you don't need to. But there will definitely be some tips and tricks from my side. I want to get Kevin involved in it as well, because he's your blog man, so he'll have some insight into this. So we'll be sprinkling live sessions in with this as well. So it's going to be really interesting for you. So I'm going to go into the access page for the NZ Masterclass bundle, and I'm going to show you where it is. So let me just share my screen. Okay, so here we go. So we're on the NZ Masterclass bundle. That's at tutorials.newzenler.com. Sign up for the NZ Masterclass bundle. You'll come into here. You need to scroll right down to the bottom, and when you see video testimonials, you click here. And when you go through here, you're going to be taken straight to the assignments. You're basically going to maybe write your name in there. You can write a little brief bit of information in there if you like, but you don't have to. And all you need to do is do your video. It can be like between 30 seconds to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and upload it there. Now, don't get really spammy with it, talking about your site and what you do and things like that, but how you can say the name of your site, and you can talk about what you do as a business and how the Zenler platform has helped you. So it's all about like what you like about Zenler, and then upload it in there. I will approve it, and then you will be in the course. So a lot of people are saying, when's it going to come out? It's going to come out when we reach 30. So as soon as I reach 30, I'll have about a week. I've already prepared quite a lot of the course already, but I need to prepare more. So it's actually, it's now, I'm doing this stuff now, and I'm actually going to be using my site, the surf site, which I haven't promoted it anyway, and I'll be using that as a benchmark for you to go against, so you can sort of see exactly what's going on. So definitely get in there, definitely submit your thing. I think there's 7 slots left now, so 7 or 8. So get in there quickly, and then I can approve them off, and then you can get straight into the course. And by the way, if you can't actually join me for all the lives, it really doesn't matter, because I'm going to be putting them into the course curriculum as well. So you'll never not have the content. You'll always see the content. We'll be running quite a few lives. So sometimes, I know that time is valuable to you, and some of you are busy doing things, so you might not be able to attend all of them. But if you can attend some of them, then it's really important. Now, also remember, like we run these lives, and it's BST time. We know we've got a worldwide audience, but if you are serious about promoting your business, it doesn't matter. I mean, I've attended lives for some of the software that I use at like 2 o'clock in the morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning, because they're like US or something, and stayed up like for 4 hours and things like that, because I want to get my business off the ground. So if you are serious about doing course creation, whatever time we run this, if you're serious about it, you should turn up and be there for it if you want to learn. So it's really important. We can't, we try to run these time zones. We're running today from 5 a.m. till 9, and then we're running another one from 1 till 5. But outside of social hours, because we are UK based, it's sometimes hard to do it. So I know a lot of you have said questions like, oh, that's out of my time zone, or oh, it'd be good if you could do it for that. Well, we might occasionally, but we have to run within sort of business hours. We're trying to extend it and those sort of things, but yeah, just bear that in mind, that we supply all this information free for you, but you need to turn up and do this stuff to get your course and your site off the ground. All right, so with that said and done, brilliant. So have we got Williams busy? David Z. So Rakesh, please check question from Dance. Okay. The contact, I haven't heard back. So just checking through the chat. Yes, I have done that. ConvertKit is already integrated. I can't figure out how to use their forms within Zenler. So if it's a ConvertKit issue, as I mentioned before, we can't be supporting other platforms and what they're doing, but you definitely need to reach out to ConvertKit if things aren't going as suggested. But Dance Brave Official, let me check into that a little bit more. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to do maybe a few tutorials on ConvertKit. So you've put Dance Brave Official has put a ticket into support. Okay, so you'll hear back from them. William, we got definitely looks like you need to understand Zapier, as it's often mentioned during Q&A sessions. Is there a course about this topic? Yeah, William, I've done a quick Zapier. Zapier is actually really easy to use. It's just like setting up connections between things, So it's pretty easy, but you just need to look into Zapier. If you need to use it, it's like a lot of people are using Zapier. I don't use it at all in my site. I've never used, I don't really need to use anything apart from Zenler. So, but it's like I'm not an expert on Zapier, but it only took me about 10 minutes to set up a link to a Google Doc. It's really easy. Mind you, I use lots of different software, but it's basically connecting up. So as long as you're connected up and you're sending data to one area that you want to another, then you've created a Zap. Some people do one place to another, to another, to another. They have massive, great Zap lists. And a lot of people use Pabbly as well. So Pabbly seems to be quite a popular one. I know that's one that Kevin uses. So can we embed JavaScript? Yes, you can. So yeah, let me show you. So I've got the screen share going here. Let me jump back to the editor. So if you're embedding JavaScript into a page, you can come into your page settings here, and you can put your header scripts into here. So we've got page CSS as well. This is just one place per page, but we also have global includes. So inside of your site settings, we have a global include in here where you can set up scripts and things. So that's additional code you'd like to include in the head section of all pages of your site. Only scripts and styles. So we've got an area in there. I think inside here we've got another area as well. So I got under SEO. No, sorry. Yeah. Tracking code. Here we go. So you've got tracking code in here. So Dance Brave official, only JavaScript embed into the head section, or embed HTML or JavaScript into the body section. Remember, the head section is the very top, so where your navigation would be generally. The body section is the content of the page, and the footer is the bottom of the page. Okay. Now, you might be saying, well, why have you got a footer, body, header section? Well, some scripts, you want the JavaScript to run before anything else. When a web page is read by your browser, it looks at the head section first, then it works its way down the body to the footer. So it decodes on that basis. So if, for instance, you have JavaScript in the footer area, and then you have something that's controlled by JavaScript in the page, okay, that thing that's in the actual main page, it will not load until it's loaded the page and the footer JavaScript to make the object run. Okay, so a lot of people put it into the head area, so that JavaScript loads and then it gets to the main area and it pops up and works straight away. So that's why there's a head, body and footer area for JavaScript, HTML into the body, Java, and embed into the footer for HTML and JavaScript as well. So that's the area you want to go into for there. And common use of this would be tracking code. Okay, but as you saw, you've got global includes as well. But if you want it per page, if you've just got JavaScript on one page activating something, you want to put it into the page. You don't want to put it into the globals. The reason you don't want to put it into the global includes is because every page that loads will load the Java, and every bit of code in every page will slow it down. So if that JavaScript is in, especially if it's a really heavy JavaScript, it can really slow the site down. So you only want it to activate in the page where you've got the JavaScript object running. Okay, so that's why you wouldn't put it into global includes, because it can slow down the pages. Okay, so you need to be aware of that as well. So that's helped you, I think, Dance Brave official. And global scripts can be done via site settings too. Yeah, as Rakesh mentions. Brilliant. Yes, be careful about includes. Yeah, so exactly. So you need to be really careful with these things, because you're putting code in there. So if you especially if you write your own code and you accidentally do a loop in the code or something that's running something constantly, you haven't coded it properly. So it's maybe running a sequence of numbers from 1 to 100, but you've actually put a loop in there. So what happens is that it will keep running those numbers, and eventually the site could even crash, because it's trying to run something, it's no exit loop out of it, and the code will run. Or massive great JavaScripts or massive great loads of code can just stop the site. And then we don't want support questions coming to support@zenler.com because of bad code that you've grabbed or you've created from there. So be very careful about code that you put into a site. Test it thoroughly before you launch. So fabulous. All right, so it's 8:43 now. I haven't seen any other questions come in. So we're nearly at the end of the first slot. So I was a little bit late on the first one because I had all those technical issues, but I think we'll be absolutely fine for this afternoon. So it's 1 p.m. We're going to be back. I'm going to put together some more top tips for you guys, such as copying code and things like that, and looking and shortcuts to how we can actually take the branding and have it at hand so that we're able to quickly and consistently update our site and pages. So I'll be showing you like how I do it. When I first got the Zenler platform, I was playing around with it a lot, and I figured that the best way to create all my pages was actually just to create one page, one massive long page, clone it all out and delete the bits I didn't want. Why? Because then it gave me a master template to use if I needed to update the pages again in any way. So I'll be showing you things like that. I'll be showing you about how to keep that branding sheet at the side so that you can match your colors, make sure your colors are correct. We might have a look at a little bit of images, PNG files, and I might be talking about color spaces and things like that. So we've still got loads and loads of stuff to do in the platform. And of course, as we go, I will be answering questions. Yeah, so we got a question quickly from Sophie, which is good. Cloning a course, really, really easy. Come into the courses here. You see these three little dots, you just hit clone. Okay, so it'll clone the course completely. Then you can go in and just edit those pages, edit the name. It doesn't, if you set up a pricing plan for the course that you're cloning, it does not clone the course price. So you need to reset that up. So again, testing, you need to test it. When you do clone a course, it will automatically not be published, so it won't be visible straight away. If I do this one quickly, I can just show you. So I click that button there, and quickly it will do, and you'll see that it isn't published. If I go back to courses, I can go in here and you can see that I now have a copy. So I just changed that. You can see it's unpublished by the little eye icon there, and you can just go in there and just set that up. So really easy. We've also got bundles in here, and you can also go in here and clone a bundle. Okay, so you can clone both really easily in there, Sophie. Yeah, and you can also copy lessons as well from one area to the other. So that might be something we cover a bit later, because we're nearly at the wrap up for this one. As there's no questions coming in, I'm going to sort of wrap this one up. So any other questions before we kind of leave this first lesson? So, well, that's quite good. We had quite a few people there for this. So remember, guys, we are running again at 1. Okay. So a little tip here, if you can't attend the one we're running at 1 p.m. today, that's in 4 hours time, just get a few questions and get them ready. And when we go live, if you can't attend, just paste it into the chat, then go off and do your thing, come back and watch the replay, and I will have answered them because I'm going through them sequentially. But if there's more, I'd rather have more questions than less questions. Okay. So if you've got lots of questions, if there's questions that I can't answer in the 4 hours, then I will make sure that they're answered in the group. Like we do for office hours, we always make sure that we answer all the questions that are in there. So any question you like. And as Rakesh has mentioned there, next session is at 1 p.m. BST time. So that should be good. So wonderful. It might be a solution to my special membership. Okay, so Sophie's all right. So really good. I'm so happy that you guys attended. Thank you, Rakesh, so much, and Kevin for just facilitating a little bit there. It makes it a bit easier. And yeah, I'll see you at 1. Hopefully Rakesh and Kevin will be on again, and they might want to jump in as well. Say hello. Rakesh, you might want to jump in and tell people about any feature releases that are coming out. That would be cool. Kevin's up to doing his pro interviews and the blog. It'd be nice if he come in and has a chat about them. Yeah, so Rakesh is going to come in on the afternoon slot. So fabulous. Now we are at about 10 to 9. So we're finishing at about 10 minutes early. But I think we've answered all the questions. So yeah, brilliant. Okay. Excellent. So if you guys can make it in 4 hours time, if you can't make it, like I said, try and get some questions together and just post them in there, and then I can check through. You can post them in this one if you like, and I'll just have a look at it and answer those going forwards. So yeah, really good. I'll have a little sleep now for an hour, and then I'll be back on it at 1. So I'll see you guys very soon. Take care. Yeah.